Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Before the Flood. This is yet another documentary. We've been doing a lot of documentaries this week. Sorry for those of you who are sick of documentaries, but I go where the numbers tell me to go. It's randomly picked every day, unless it's something egregious like another shark video with a really dumb name. But we watch it. I watch it. You might not, probably not. This is a documentary about climate change. And you probably just clicked off right now, or you're about to. But this, hey, it stars Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is kind of at the center of this. He's made this documentary with Fisher Stevens, a director who's also an actor. You might recommend him as the egregiously Indian guy in Short Circuit. Yeah, who wasn't Indian at all. He's apologized for that, I think. I don't know. But he's the director of this. He's been doing other stuff, documentaries. He's been doing some directing. And so, yeah, he's been doing some other things. But this is focused on Leo taking on a position of being a kind of a representative. I know you get celebrities and doing these things and getting involved in causes and political things that are pretty much in the political domain. And you go, oh, well, we have to listen to this guy. What does he know? He makes it very clear that he needs to learn a lot more along the path of this, and that's what this is about. Through this film, he is going around to different parts of the world and learning what the experts have to say. There are real, and by the way, climate change is real, and it does have real scientists with real facts and real numbers and real information about this. Yes, there's people at the very beginning, of course, they show mostly Fox News pundits mocking him for even talking about such things. He shows up at the Paris Agreement meeting. It was in Paris, apparently, with all the world leaders discussing to agree to fight against climate change, which is pretty. It's a big deal. I'm not going to be very good at explaining this to you myself, but I understand that actions have consequences, and you know what? If I don't understand something, I look to somebody who does. It may not be Leo DiCaprio, but it is the scientists and the people who have lived their lives and learned enough to be able to tell facts from fiction. Not people who just are owned by oil companies. So, yeah, and it's not just oil companies, it's not just that. It's, I mean, again, there's a lot of change to be done. So I'm not going to go into every single thing, but this video is both beautiful and terrifying at the same time. He goes to some astounding places up in the upper Canadian tundra, Greenland. He heads to India. He goes to Miami. He goes to all these different places. Miami, by the way, might be gone in my lifetime. You might want to go visit it soon. There's some things I learned about even Miami, that they have the sunshine floods, basically, or sunny day floods, I think their mayor called it. Yeah, there's sometimes apparently when you're down in Miami and it suddenly water starts coming up through the drains and roads start getting a little more than a little wet, and there's not a drop coming from the sky. It's just the water levels rise just enough to ruin your day. It's not permanent, it doesn't stick around, but it goes away and comes and goes. But of course, there's always rain. I lived in Florida long enough to know that you can pretty much set your watch by when it's about to rain. It's a pretty consistent environment, and with the polar ice caps melting and everything else that we're doing to mess with the world, the water is rising. Right now we're before the flood. If you're worried about the whole, oh, well, we're not going to destroy the world in flood, God's not going to destroy the world in flood anymore, maybe he didn't yet. Maybe that's next. I don't know. But beyond that, there's a point where he takes a tour, Leo takes a tour in a helicopter with a man who's representative for a lot of mining operations and cutting down forests and everything else. He's really proud of his work, and he doesn't. I don't think he realizes fully that Leo is, well, I mean, I don't think Leo came in there with the intent, and he doesn't treat the man negatively in any way. I don't think he comes in with the intent of saying, what you're doing is bad. What you're doing is destroying the planet. You're literally just gutting whole sections of forest so that you can get to the earth underneath it and dig for fossil fuels and just, yeah, do all this stuff. And are there solutions? Yes, there are absolutely solutions that are talked about throughout this. Yes, some of the scary ones talk about cow burps and methane and everything else. But again, nobody's expecting everybody just suddenly to jump to tofu right away. You realize that there is a way to get these changes done. You have to understand why, how, and who is able to make these changes, to make things better. If we feel that it doesn't exist, as some people presume, based on nothing, based on the lies being told by people who are owned by the people who need to keep making money off of the destruction of the earth, because they know they're not going to live more than a couple more decades at best, and they need to be as rich as possible to pass it along to their kids, who then will suffer, but be rich at the same time. So there's that. Anyway, like I said, there's some beautiful, beautiful shots throughout this. Just seeing what the planet is from way down low to way up high. You get to see cultures from around the world and how they are reacting to it, how they're dealing with it, how they're not dealing with it. There's a woman in India when Leo's talking to her. She's really frustrated because she's like, they have 30% of the people in India do not have electricity. It's a lot of people. They said that the number of people without electricity in India is equal to the amount of people who live in the United States. Yes. That's a thing. And that's what some people do. For energy to heat, to cook their meals, they burn cow patties. Imagine cooking up your dinner over cow patties. How well good that'll taste and smell. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you're eating, it's still going to smell like cow crap. Yeah, there's all sorts of interesting things, but she gets really frustrated with Leo, and she's like, America is, well, yes, they have horrible problems in India, and they do not have the infrastructure. They look to countries, they want to be like Americans, to experience life like Americans. And we just keep on doing what we do. I'm guilty of it right now. I'm running all sorts of electricity just to make this video for you. I paid the bill. And it takes oil to make this camera, make this phone, make this light ring, make this iPad, make that monitor, make that Pac-Man ghost, all of it. Yeah, plastics, everything else. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of changes to be made. Weirdly enough, in this, right now isn't necessarily a good guy to be going to. But by the way, this is 2016. This came out in 2016. This was filmed at a time when Obama was still president. He does talk to Obama at some point, but there is some footage that took place after the next guy came in. Yeah. Who pretty much did everything he could to dismantle everything Obama and anybody who worked with him had done, including the Paris Agreement. Because they figured Paris, well, that's not American. Got to get rid of that. Got to get away from that. It's just the utter stupidity of all that. Yes, it's stupidity. Anyway, this is from 2016. It's an hour and 37 minutes long, and the world has changed a lot since 2016, politically. Certain people in power. But at some point in this, there's a man named Elon Musk that comes up with a pretty coherent solution to how they can change the world for the better for many people, who also include people who live in poverty, to give them the power they need to live lives that are sustainable inexpensively and not rely on fossil fuels. And now, who is he? Yeah, you know who he is. Mr. Twitter. Anyway, people change. And whether you believe in all this or not, honestly, I think it's worthwhile checking out. You can roll your eyes whenever Leo talks about himself. Fine, whatever. But I say take a chance and listen to the message. Listen to what they have to say, the evidence they provide. And you know what? If you don't believe it, go ahead and find the information that proves it to be wrong. But make sure it's actual proof. Just saying. Just saying. Not just what you want to hear. Anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
6.
Wow. All the way down to 6. Don't scroll far. 46 to 6. And it's another documentary. I'm so sorry. Or it could be a reality show. I don't know. But I don't know what this is. It just starts with a number. That's why it's so low. It's number 6, but the title starts with 7 toughest days. 7 toughest days. I just missed 50 years of Walt Disney World. I could have gone with that. That would have been cool. But not 50 Shades of Sharks. Yes, by the way, in case you were seeing that, yes, that is such a thing. 50 Shades of Sharks. Come on. Anyway, we're watching the 7 toughest days next tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.